I'm Blacked Out Reviews, and this is my review of Inside Out 2. I gotta tell you, I got mad respect for Pixar. Growing up as a kid, I saw all the greats. Toy Story 3, Cars 2, Brave, and Monsters University. But you know what the weird thing about all those movies is that each of them are either sequels, and the only original, in my opinion, is mid as hell. So whenever I, saw Inside Out in theaters, I thought that was like the most creative Pixar film of all time I saw in theaters. And I gotta tell you, this movie, Inside Out 2, it's even better. This is a perfect sequel. It's not on the same level as Shrek 2 as being a perfect sequel, but this is this is really solid. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is what I expect from Pixar, because recently people have gone over, Pixar recently saying that they're kind of washed up, that they're done for. And I'm not going to say that, that they've been great, but I think they still had great pieces of work, I really respected Elemental. I think that Luca and Turning Red are massively underrated. And overall, I think that they've been doing great as a company. I mean, financially, they've been screwed over, but like I said about Disney Plus and all that stuff, yeah, they've been screwed over in that regard. But I feel like Inside Out 2 is really proving to people that Pixar isn't dead. I feel like this will really show that Pixar still has what it takes. Because I see the original Inside Out as one of a movie that could stand up with the original classic Pixar films. And this movie, in that regards, acts as Toy Story 2, as in a perfect sequel, in my opinion, for Pixar. Because it doesn't feel unnecessary. It feels like something that should be built upon with this franchise, because I feel like Inside Out is a great series to work on, film to film, and this just proves my point, because they do everything right. The emotions, the characters, overall it is incredible, especially with the animation. I know that I praise animation a lot and with all these movies, but I feel like they stepped up the game immensely in this one, because it just feels so more realistic. It feels so much more fluid. It's amazing, especially with all the different art styles that they have in this one, because if you think that Inside Out 1 had different art styles with the abstract room and all that stuff, guess again, because they go above and beyond in this one. And I like the fact that it's just more creative and bold with what it's doing. I love the fact that we have full ass PSP video game characters in this one. We even have a full ass 2D character that's a Blue's Clues Dora ripoff. That's how fun they're willing to go. Because with Inside Out, I just feel they're just more willing to be just more bold and creative with the ideas they can make. I feel they just have a sandbox of stuff that they could do, and it really shows in this one really, really hard, because they just go balls to the wall, that I could just appreciate the work that they've done with this. I also love the new characters in this, because I gotta tell you, Anxiety, I'm gonna be talking about spoilers. Anxiety is by far a great Pixar villain. She's not one of the best, being mind you, she's not great, but I like the fact that she's a villain, not because she's doing it for evil reasons, but being the fact that she wants to do what she thinks is best for Riley. And that's what I love most about villains, whenever they have goals that they believe that are just. And she really does work as a villain, because the thing is, I really love her spunky hyper personality. I love how condescending she is. I love the subtle details as well, because whenever she wants to quote unquote fix Riley, I like the fact that all the emotions that she puts into changing her as a person, or all anxieties, she doesn't use any of envies, embarrassments, or ennuis, just hers. And it shows how manipulative and how just self-centered she is, as she thinks that she's the only one that could do it. Because the thing with this one, I feel they have a lot of more moments with all the emotions. I love Inside Out 1, but I feel there wasn't enough for all the other emotions fear, anger, and disgust to do. But in this one, they have a really lot of good moments, since they're all traveling together, especially anger. For some reason, I think he had a lot of really good scenes. And of course, because obviously they didn't forget about the original cast, and I think Joy especially had a really good arc in this one. Yeah, sure, it feels a little bit similar to 1, but I feel they did it just enough to where they made with 2 to be more distinct in a sense. I love the fact that, she wants to, help Riley as well, but she also notices that she's also not doing what's best for Riley. So in the end, they all just put in everything together to make it perfect. And it just works so well. But what I think especially works for this movie is how real it feels. Because in this movie, Riley goes through puberty and she has like all these new emotions and all that stuff. But throughout the movie, there's just so many like small little moments and stuff that happens that just feel just real, if that makes sense. I like the fact that, like with Riley in this movie, she goes through a lot of challenges with her hockey and all that stuff, which feels, it builds upon her with her emotion, all that stuff. I like the fact that she has a struggle between her friends with trying to make new ones and trying to keep hold on to her old ones. It just feels like you really just feel bad for her in this movie, to where you want her to have like the best outcome, but you feel like the way she's going about it through her emotions with anxiety really isn't helping her, and it's just hard to see her like pushing her old friends away and being so indifferent. And that's what's really good about this movie, how it just makes you just feel like it just feels so real. Because whenever I was watching this, I felt like I could like really like go like, ooh, I felt that before, just like, wow, I've been through that. To where with Pixar, they have a lot of movies that can relate to, kids and adults. And I feel like this one does it perfect, to where anyone who watches this movie can feel what someone feels in this. It just like, you can like relate to this on a deeper level and just overall have a sense of self in this. And I think that's what's best about Pixar, is the fact that, they have that willingness to break through in a sense. And I don't think they've ever been able to do that in a few years. And I'm being honest here, I'm not gonna lie. I think this is one of Pixar's best films in years. Yeah, they still have great films. I love Toy Story 4. Soul was pretty good. But I think this is Pixar's best film since Coco. And this is like one of their best sequels of all time. And we all know Pixar isn't great at sequels, but I think this one really takes the cake. This is, without a doubt, a fantastic movie. And I just love that it has so many great messages and themes about self-doubt and confidence and trying to fit in and trying to, be yourself at the same time and trying to make yourself happy with those around you. And in general, this just shows what Pixar does best, with having emotion, feeling, animation, and overall sense of just pure imagination with their creativity. And that's why I want to give Inside Out 2 a perfect 10 out of 10. This is what I expect from Pixar, and this is what they should strive for going forward. If you do like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me if you've seen the movie yet, and if you haven't, I really suggest you do. Alright, on Blacked Out Reviews. I reviewed it, so you don't have